Social media companies have rolled back their efforts to address disinformation on their platforms and restricted access to data, making it difficult to hold them to account. Government and public sector responses to foreign disinformation have been derided and dismantled. Our adversaries have taken note. We are seeing the resurgence of tactics Moscow first used in the early days of its online influence campaigns, such as automated inauthentic accounts or bot networks, now coupled with emerging technologies like generative artificial intelligence, making them more targeted, more convincing, and more human. Over the past few months, the American Sunlight Project discovered several such Russian networks that both take advantage of decreased tech platform regulation and attention to foreign influence campaigns, and also make use of AI. These networks on X, formerly Twitter, attempted to interfere in the democratic processes of Western democracies, including EU member states. The first network, which we call the Sleeper Agents Network, consists of thousands of anonymous accounts which have repeatedly reposted Russian state propaganda within 60 seconds of it being posted. We call them sleeper agents because in some cases, they've existed undetected on X and Twitter before it for more than a decade. The majority of these sleeper agent accounts were created or became active for the first time during the Internet Research Agency's initial ramp-up before the 2016 US election, in the months before the 2020 election, and in the months following Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. They primarily post anti-democratic, pro-Trump content. Several of these accounts have even reposted content supportive of the Trump administration's publicly stated goal of annexing sovereign European territory. And despite Elon Musk's avowed goal of ridding his platform of bots, these accounts remain active today, collectively posting over 100 million pieces of content since their inception. The second network, which we call EcoBoost, consists of hundreds of AI-enabled accounts that use fake AI-generated personas to impersonate left-wing activists and support divisive political viewpoints. It was clearly designed by a Russian entity to cause as much political chaos and division as possible in online discourse. EcoBoost posts a confusing mix of pro-Musk, anti-Trump, pro-Green, anti-Labor, anti-democratic content in 5 languages: English, Spanish, German, French, and Arabic. Moreover, the entity that created this network left us with some smoking guns, dozens of posts that contained incorrectly translated Russian characters and words, as well as entire JavaScript code snippets. The network even went offline at a specific time in August 2024 when a mass communications outage was reported in Russia. It's undeniable. Moscow continues to corrupt online discourse in order to undermine free and democratic societies. The Kremlin and its allies are also using emerging technologies, including generative artificial intelligence, to infect our public discourse. American Sunlight recently published a report that detailed how the pro-Russia Pravda network, a set of websites that aggregates and translates pro-Russia propaganda, is using a new technique that we call LLM, large language model, grooming. This technique attempts to infect AI models' chatbot outputs by strategically publishing and duplicating disinformation across the internet. We have confirmed that the Pravda network content has already infiltrated prominent chatbots such as ChatGPT. Our quantitative analysis suggests that the Pravda network is publishing at a rate of at least 3.6 million articles of pro-Russia disinformation and propaganda per year. More than half of the Pravda network, 52 websites, targets geographic or linguistic entities in Europe. It also targets other European entities, such as European heads of state and the EU itself. The Pravda network even publishes content in languages not widely spoken, such as Basque, suggesting that it takes an interest in all corners of Europe and may be attempting to target disaffected ethnic and linguistic minorities, a known Russian influence tactic. The risks presented by the Pravda network and LLM grooming are significant. Other anti-democratic actors could easily replicate the Pravda network's model to target European democracies. As more Europeans turn to AI as a source of news, research, and truth, EU lawmakers must give their populations the tools and education necessary to interact with AI platforms wisely.